Okay, homework 5 is on writing equations of hyperbolas. So we're going to label these the same way we did with the ellipses. So A, B, C, H, and K. So H and K is pretty easy. H and K, these are the centers for each one of those. So let's sneak those in there. C always goes to each focus. So that one's pretty straightforward because the focus is on the outside. So that's your C with this one. And then this is your C with this one. So now remember, A goes to your vertices. So this would be A in this one, and this would be A in this one. And then B goes to each co-vertex. So the direction that's like not headed towards the hyperbola itself. Okay, and then your formulas. So horizontal is this. We've got x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. So the big difference is with the horizontal, you put the x one first, and then with the vertical, you put the y piece first. Every other piece of it remains the same though. So that's your setup. Those are the formulas that we're trying to get when we write these formulas. So with number 1, we've got a graph in front of us. So you want to use that to identify, okay, it's horizontal. What are the vertices? What are the co-vertices? So for number 1, this one is horizontal. You can see that because it's opening up left and right. And then we can identify where are vertices, where are co-vertices, and where is the center. So the center kind of goes just right in the middle here. So that should be easy enough to identify. So our center, if we just kind of count things out. So here is the origin. So our center is 1, 3. So we can use that for H and K. The vertices, we are going count like how many units in each direction. So rather than writing down the actual ordered pairs, you just want to write down what's A and what's B. So in a horizontal direction, you can see we're going 2 units left and right. So A is 2. And then for B, that's your vertical distance. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units in each direction. And you can count that up this way too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got all the pieces we need. We have H and K and A and B, and we know it's horizontal. So we have x minus h first. So that's where the 1 goes in. This denominator is a squared. So 2 squared is 4 minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. So that is your equation that we would get for a problem like number 1. Number 2 is very similar. And then for the rest of these, you are given between the vertices, the co-vertices, and the foci, you are given 2 of the 3. So let's do one on the front here. Let's do one of the vertices and the co-vertices. When we did ellipses, I did one with the foci, so you should be able to practice that. We've also been practicing for the last couple days. So we have vertices and co-vertices here. So first find the center. And you can use the midpoint to figure out the center. Either the midpoint of the vertices or the co-vertices, it does not matter. You should get the same thing either way. So let's just stick with the vertices. So do the sum of the x values divided by 2, sum of the y values divided by 2. So this gives you -2 divided by 2, -12 divided by 2. We've also talked about how you don't really need to write that down if you can just kind of eyeball and figure out. Notice when you have matching x coordinates, that becomes the x coordinate. Matching y coordinates becomes the y coordinate. So you now have H and K. So all that's left to figure out is the A and the B. So next, use the vertices to find A. Okay, so that's going to be your next step. So here are your vertices, and you're basically just counting. So from this center value of -1, we go to the right up to 4, so that is 5 units to the right. We go back to -6, that is 5 units to the left. So these are with x coordinates, so we know that this is a horizontal hyperbola. And so your A is going to be 5. That's how many units you're going in each direction. And then use the co-vertices to find B, or if you're given the foci, you can use the formula to find the missing piece, just like we did with ellipses. So we've got B using our co-vertices. So this, you've got -6. We're going up to 3. So that would be 9 units up if you count. Down all the way to -15, so that would be 9 units down. So that is your value of B. So we now have all of our pieces. We have H, we have K, we have A, we have B. And then really the last thing, you have to definitely determine what the direction is, and that's based on which way the vertices go. So the vertices have the same y value, which means it doesn't go up and down. So that means it must go left and right, and that makes it horizontal. So you start with the x, so x minus h, so x minus -1 squared over a squared, so 25, that's 5 squared, minus y minus the center there, so minus -6 over b squared, so 9 squared is 81, and that would be your complete formula. Sorry, that's a little off. There we go.